What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. You already know the vibes. If you're new, drop a comment down below and let me know where you're coming from. If you're a returning sub, and I appreciate you for coming back and for rocking with me. Guys, we're back with another recipe. If you haven't watched my previous video, that's a giveaway of basically what we're cooking today, which is roast lamb. But this is part one. This is how we season that lamb, and the reason why I'm showing you now is because you gotta let that marinate for 24 hours and then you gotta come back and then cook it. So I'm going to show you guys first of all how to marinate it and get it perfect. So let's get straight into it, and I'm going to show you how I make my juicy, succulent, tender roast lamb. Then we're going to use some all-purpose seasoning, some dried thyme as well, some paprika, some coarse black pepper, and some garlic salt. I would normally add some lamb seasoning into this, but I don't have any now. But I'm going to freestyle it a little bit, and I'm going to also add some dried sage. So we're just going to give this a rub down. And remember to just turn it. So if you're afraid, thinking, oh my god, there's so much there, remember you've got your excess here that you're also going to rub on there. Okay, and then there is the lamb. Perfect. So what you want to do, basically, all these vegetables are going to roast with the lamb when it cooks, so we basically just want to kind of get these flavors infused. So what I'm going to do is put the onions on one side first and just kind of mix it in that excess. I'm also going to rub the lamb a little bit with the onion. You can separate some if you wish, just to give it like a bed of onions underneath, and then it's got all of that ready to be roasted. Doesn't matter if it doesn't all fit underneath. And then you can put the sprigs of rosemary on top. So I've put the thyme underneath, and then I've put the rosemary on top, and then we're just going to get the garlic. And again, wait, let me do this after. What I like to do is just give a little massage with the garlic, just like that, because when it roasts, it's going to also take in that seasoning as well. So it will look like that. So once you've rubbed it down, you've got your rosemary on there, garlic at the side, that is your meat done. So we're going to wrap this up and then put it in the fridge until tomorrow, and then we're going to cook it. Here is the lamb. The sun is beaming through this morning. It's like 10 AM guys, so we're getting this started early because we're going to slow roast this. As you can see, it's been marinating overnight, so it looks on. Wrap this. And then here I have a baking tray lined with foil. I do this because some of my trays aren't the greatest, so if you find that your trays aren't good, just line them with foil. And also when I'm slow cooking, I like to use foil because it just retains the moisture. I've been preheating my oven at about 190 because I need it to get really hot. Then I'm going to drop the temp to 180 and put the lamb in. Also, I have 2 carrots chopped in half basically, and these are going to go on the bottom of the tray. They're going to act as like a bed, along with these onions as well. The thyme and the rosemary will go underneath as well. I'll probably leave a little bit to put on top. I'm gonna put the lamb right on top of everything, so it's literally resting on it like a bed. But if it doesn't sit on everything, that's fine, because it is quite a big piece if you look at it like that. This will serve definitely about 6 people or less with leftovers. And then this garlic, I'm just going to rest it here. So get this in the oven at 180 for 25 minutes, then flip it over and do the same thing, and then we'll be back. So this is the lamb after 25 minutes. I'm just going to give it a flip around for another 25 minutes, and then it's time for the slow roast. But look at that. If you guys are new, then I love to have a cup of tea whilst I'm cooking. So we did 25 minutes on one side, 25 minutes on the other side. So this is what it looks like now. Look at that, beautiful. And then we've got some roasted garlic here that I'm going to take out. So basically what we need to do now is wrap it in foil. Take out, so leave all the other vegetables in there. Take out the garlic because we're going to make like a garlic butter. I'm going to put it back in the oven, roast it slowly for about an hour. Make my garlic butter, pour that on top, listen, you're not ready for how this is going to it's going to be delicious. So we need to turn this back over and top it, because anyone's probably thinking, how the hell did I turn that over? I took it out, waited for it to cool down a bit, and then I actually just turned it with my hands. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. The bone has cooled down and I can lift it up like that so you can see it. It's got a bit of onion on it as well. And then I'm just going to cover it and put it back in the oven now for an hour. Here is the garlic from earlier. We're going to save this piece and just use this to make some garlic butter. So I'm just going to squeeze that out, mash it up, and then add it to this and put it on our lamb. Mixed some butter with the roasted garlic and Italian herb seasoning, and I'm just going to put this all over the lamb, baste it, and then put it back into slow cook. But it probably only needs maybe another hour or two, but I'm going to keep checking on it and we'll see how it goes. With this leftover garlic butter, I'm going to use this for my roasted vegetables and probably the roast potatoes as well. I'm going to cover this and put it back in the oven for 1 hour at the same temp and then check on it again. I've changed my mind, so we're going to leave the lamb in for about 35 minutes, not an hour. It doesn't need so long because I'm going to do something else to just enhance it a little bit more, which I'm going to show you now. So let's check on our lamb again. Remember I said low and slow. Ooh, be careful of the steam. Ooh. And here we are again. I can already see down here, it looks like the bone is starting to come apart from the meat, which, oh, look at that. If I just push it, so that meat, even let me come in a little bit more. So that meat there is super juicy. You can see it right there. And the rest of it as well. So now we're going to leave this to rest for a little bit, because what I'm going to do is create like a garlic glaze. So before we had a mint glaze, now it's going to be a garlic glaze. So I'm going to show you guys how we're going to do it. I'm just going to cover this and leave it to the side. And everyone's going to think I'm crazy, but I was developing the recipe, I had this idea and I thought it sounds crazy, but I'm going to do it. And don't think for a second that the fact that I'm using sugar means it's going to be sweet. The sweet is going to balance out all the spices, salt, all of that stuff, okay? So I'm actually going to put, this is a hot pan, no oil, no nothing. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of this, because obviously it's a big piece of lamb. And then I'm going to turn the heat down to like a medium heat, and we're going to let this caramelize. And this process, you've got to be patient. You've got to be patient. Don't try and turn up the heat because the sugar will burn. It will, yeah, it will be all mad. So you just want to get this to like a syrupy consistency. As you can see, it's starting to do its thing now. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit, and what it's doing is it's caramelizing, but it's also going brown. This is like a natural browning agent as well, so when you use browning for oxtail and stuff like that, sometimes you can burn sugar as a way to caramelize it and get it darker. So that's kind of what I'm doing here as well. So now I've turned it right down the heat because it's getting really hot. I'm going to add in this garlic, just like that, and just kind of mix it in there. And now I've just turned off the heat because I want to infuse this garlic a little bit without burning it. So I'm going to push this down and get out the garlic. But I'm still going to leave the roasted garlic skin and that in there. I'm going to turn it back on, but again on a low heat. And then I'm going to add a bit of that beef stock in. As you can see, it's going nice and sticky, but I'm going to add a bit more of the stock. Mix it up and let that sugar dissolve into the stock, and then just use this to mix it all in like that. Okay, then I'm going to add the rest of the half. Remember, I was only adding half of this, so it was just a bit more. And then there we have our brown sugar garlic glaze. Once this reduces down a little bit more, I'm going to take the skin out, like these bits here. We've just got them in for flavour at the moment. And then we're going to pour this over the lamb and get the outside nice and glazed. And as I said, it's not going to be sweet. All those seasonings, the salt, the spices, the pepper, the herbs, everything's going to balance out nicely. Just going to remove the skin, or the peel, whatever you want to call it. And then that's done. You just need to keep it like this. So we're going to immediately pour it over because we don't want it to go hard. Sorry, that's it. Once it's like that, I'm just going to pour that hot brown sugar and garlic over it, and then quickly we just want to spread that mixture over the lamb. Oh my gosh, this already looks heavenly. But you see that? And that's all going to balance out with those seasonings and everything. Just scrape some more all over the lamb. And I'm only going to do it on one side because, yeah, once you carve it and stuff, I think it will be nice to just have an option where one side you've got the glaze and one side there isn't, and that side will be nice and juicy and fall off the bone as well. So yeah, I'm even going to mix it with the juices at the bottom a little bit as well, so that that all just mixes in together. Do the same on the bone. Oh, this looks good. This looks very delicious. I think this is going to be a tasty bit of lamb. And then our lamb will be done. We're just going to return it into the oven for about, I want to say about 25 minutes. But I'll put the definite time on the screen now. The lamb is done. It didn't actually need 25 minutes. It more so needed like 15 to 20 minutes. And then look at that. Look at how succulent. I told you guys this was going to be tender and succulent, and it is. Basically what we're going to do, all those veggies and everything, we're going to save that for the gravy, including all the juices and all of that. So I'm going to show you guys how to make the gravy, but I'm going to let this sit for a little while. I'm not going to cut it immediately because it's just all going to strip away on the bone. You need it to cool down a bit. And then we're also going to use the bone and everything for the stock as well. But that is how you make a nice, succulent, tender, juicy leg of lamb. It's literally going to fall off of the bone, if you can see it there. Delicious. I cannot wait to try this. But come back if you want to see that sliced up and put with everything. We're going to make some lamb gravy. That's going to be in another video. And then I've also made rice and peas, roast potatoes, vegetables to go along the side to make the perfect Easter Sunday dinner, which this will be. See you in the next video.